guys doing?
Do you agree?
Wait, if you love Jesus, but you hate people, you're a liar. Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you know what it means, though? Do you know what it means? There you go. Cool.
Let these people have their party.
Do you know what that means, though?
No.
Okay. How would you define hatred?
Huh?
My name's Tony, by the way.
I'm Max.
Max and
Elijah.
Elijah. Good to meet you. Good biblical name. So how would you define the term hate?
Hate?
Yeah, hate. H-A-T-E, hate. How would you define hate? How would you define that term?
Selfish.
Being selfish?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. How about you, Elijah? How would you define hatred?
Disrespect.
Disrespect. Okay. So, if you two young men were enjoying a conversation, you're walking out in the woods together, you come up, we're all part of a big group of hikers, okay? And we walk through a forest, we come to a clearing, there's a large clearing in front of us. There's a sign that says 1,000-foot cliff, 50 feet ahead. You two are enjoying your conversation so much, you don't see the sign. You walk past the sign and you're walking toward the cliff. And I yell and I scream and I say, Max, right, Max? Max, Elijah, you're about to die. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to die. And you turn to me and say, Tony, you're being disrespectful. And you turn to me and say, Tony, you're being selfish. And you both walk off the cliff to your death.
Yeah.
Was I being selfish? By telling you to turn away from danger?
No.
Was I being disrespectful? By telling you to do something you didn't want to do? No. Because the danger was real, and because my motivation for talking to you that way and telling you to do something different is because I didn't want you to die. Now, same situation. We get out into the clearing, you both see the sign, you ignore the sign or you don't see the sign, and you keep walking. And I stand there and I say, you know what? Max should know better. He should have seen that sign. Elijah should have known better. He should have seen that sign. They deserve what's coming to them. And I watch you walk off the cliff.
Well, I mean,
would that be hateful?
No.
Why? Why would that not be hateful?
Because we didn't listen in the first place.
Okay, but if I loved you, if I cared about you as fellow human beings, as my neighbor, wouldn't it be depraved indifference for me to stand by and watch you die? When, look, even if I yell at you, you could turn to me and say, hey, Tony, forget you. We're going to keep walking. We don't care that there's a cliff. Okay? You could still decide to walk off the cliff. But it would be unloving for me not to try to get you not to walk off the cliff.
Yeah,
right?
true.
Right? Right? If a little child runs into the middle of the street after a ball, and you're standing in your yard, I'm sorry, have you seen something like that happen?
No, but we had a parade in East Moline.
Yeah.
And some kid was just running through, and I was driving, and he was this close away from my car, and I stopped, luckily.
Okay. So what if the crowd is watching that kid run into? Okay. Did anyone run after? No, they just watched.
Nothing. They just all watched.
So is it more loving to run after the child, grab him by the arm, and say, "Son, daughter, don't do that. You're going to get hit by a car and die," or to stand by and I wonder if that kid's going to get hit by that car. Better turn on my phone. This might make good video.
Yes. No.
Right?
I usually just.
Okay. All right.
I know you're
So, my friends and I are out here from our church, bringing both a message of warning and a message of love. Not because we hate anybody. And I can say this with my heart. I love you, Max, and I love you, Elijah.
And I love you too.
And here's what I would say, whether you're at this festival or the 4th of July parade or a River Bandits game or a Hawkeyes game. This is what I would say to you because I love you.
Love thy neighbor too?
Right, and the best way I can love you is by warning you as someone warned me and point you to words of life as someone did me. For me not to do that would be hateful.
Yeah.
Okay? So here's what I want to tell you before you go in and enjoy the rest of your night. We are all going to die and stand before the God who created us. All of us. We all know that God exists because God has testified to his existence through his creation, and he has written the reality of his existence and his law on our heart. We all know, for instance, that it's wrong to lie. Not because mom and dad told us, because we started lying before they ever said anything. Not because society teaches us, not because school teaches us. We know it's wrong to lie. All of us. We're different people. I'm old enough to be your father, certainly, maybe even close to your grandfather's age. We all know it's wrong to lie for the same reason, because we were created in the image of God, and the God who made us is not a liar. We know it's wrong to hate another human being. We know it's wrong to be...
But he let us choose to do what...
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Sure, we'll get to that. The fact that we make choices doesn't mean that our choices are right. Right? I mean, you guys are probably late teens, early 20s, I'm guessing? Yeah? Okay. So you've probably made bad decisions in your life, have you not? I have. I'm 53. I've made too many to count. But the fact that we make wrong decisions doesn't make the decisions okay because we made them. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So we know it's wrong to lie because the God who made us is not a liar. We know it's wrong to steal. Not because we got caught and got punished, but because we were created in the image of God, and the God who created us is not a thief. But we know it's wrong to hate other people. We know it's wrong to be angry without cause. We know it's wrong to harbor bitterness or resentment to other people like that. My lovely young friend here simply wanted to hand them a card. His response, "Get away from me." That's not loving. He knows in his heart that's wrong.
See, I'm sensitive that way.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. Well, maybe not. And we just met, so I don't know you from Adam. Okay. But have you ever told a lie?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I have as well. And you and I have done that knowing that it's wrong because the God who made us is not a liar. Now here's the reality, and it's not a comfortable one. When we die and stand before God, he's going to judge us not based on how we see ourselves in the mirror, not based on how we compare ourselves to other people. We're always going to find worse people than us, and with false humility we'll say that there are people better than us. But he's going to judge us according to the same moral standard that he will judge every human being, and that's the law he's written on our heart. And because God is holy and righteous and just, he must punish that sin. All of it. The sins we love and the sins we'll hypocritically point out in others while we're doing the same thing. He's going to punish all of our sin. And the punishment he's determined for sin is eternity in hell. Because he's good. Because he's holy. Now, this same God, for there's only one. There's not his God, her God, my God, your God. There's one God who created all of us. Not only is he angry with the wicked every day, not only will he judge the world in righteousness, but he's also loving and merciful and gracious and kind. And he showed that great love toward us.
Mom, when she died, yay, it was great. Only 9 excruciating months of pain, but yay, Jesus, he came through after that, when she was dead.
See, he hates the God he knows. He's a murderer at heart. God sees hatred as murder.
That's weird in image, isn't it?
But okay, but there are billions of people in the world who think that way. All right. So this same God who will punish sin in the most excruciating way is the same God who is loving and merciful and gracious and kind. And he showed that great love some 2,000 years ago when God the Father sent his Son to earth in the person of Jesus Christ. Fully God, fully man, without sin. He lived a perfect life from cradle to grave, a life that you and I have already failed in one way or another to live today. And then he voluntarily went to a Roman cross. He suffered and died a death he did not deserve.
Hey, I go to church every weekend.
Okay, but
So like I know a lot of places.
okay, but all right, but you know what? I go to Culver's almost every week, but that Culver's restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah, I go to Culver's almost every week, but that doesn't make me a cheese curd,
Yeah.
right? A person could go to church every week, but that doesn't make them right with God.
Pastor, everyone.
Okay, but our associations and our church attendance doesn't make us right with God. The only way we can be made right with God is through faith in Jesus Christ, who died on behalf of sinners and forever defeated death when he rose from the grave. And he didn't die a death he did not deserve so that we could live any way we want. He died a death he did not deserve to set us free from the sins we love. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for giving me your time. Have a good night.